All right. I am so excited for tonight. We are doing something new. We just want to be able to provide value for as many people as possible and just getting their everyday wins in, right? Like, how can we become better in the kitchen, better ourselves, all of that. So, I'm so excited for this event. We're going to talk about how to get your family involved in the kitchen, maybe some certain tools or meals, planning recipes that are going to help you just really do well in the kitchen, and some other opportunities as well. So, what I'm going to start off with is really the mission that Pampered Chef stands behind, and I believe we really do too. It's just we just really want to help get families around the table, right? There's something so powerful about mealtime and how you can really have a great impact by getting your families around the table. So there's been studies out there on why mealtime matters, right? And we just believe mealtime can really build happier and richer lives, right? It fosters healthy relationships, really good conversations, prompts better food choices, therefore, typically better nutrients, increases academic success, improves our overall well being, both adults, kids, all of it, right? Strengthens resilience. It can help build self esteem. So, there's a lot of physical and mental benefit to getting your family around the table. And so, I'm really excited that we can share more ideas to help with all of that for you guys as well. Um, I want to also talk about, and so Janelle just showed you guys before we started recording, but different, like a stool that can help get your kids involved, right? So I want to talk a little bit about that too. And you guys can comment if you want how you guys get your families even involved in the kitchen. I'd love to hear your guys' ideas too, because I think we all do it a little different depending on the age of our kids. My kids are 3 and 5.5 months old. So my 5.5 month old is not helping in the kitchen. If anything, a distraction. Where my 3-year-old, he's starting to learn. He wants to do it himself. So we're getting him involved dumping cans, right? He's dumping cans into a meal. He's starting to use a few things. Last night we're taking the veins out of the pepper, so he was helping take those out. Mommy do it, he do it, right? And so that's one way. I'd love to hear from you guys from different age groups. That's my 3-year-old toddler age. What are ways that you guys get your kids involved in the kitchen? What tasks do they get to do? And welcome some of you that have just recently joined us.
My kids are a little bit older. I have 5, 7, and 9. And my 9-year-old it's nice to see when their interests kind of come up. She's really gotten into baking. So she wants to know baking from scratch, some kind of the tips there. So she does the measuring out ingredients. I'm trying to, help her with how to do that. Trying to get the whole okay, look at the recipe. What are the ingredients that we need? So she helps me with that kind of organization stuff too. The 5-year-old, she loves mixing things. So she does a lot of the mixing. And then my 7-year-old, my son, he's like a gadget kid. So anytime we use the apple core peeler slicer thing that is going away, he loves that. Anything that he can get to turn, the spiralizer, even the manual food processor, like when we're working on that, he's a gadget kid. So that's kind of where we are.
I love it. Anyone else? How do you get your kids involved, and what ages, to give us ideas?
So my 7-year-old really loves the little paring knives. She'll dice peppers, she'll dice courgettes. Her favorite thing at the moment is taking big hunks of sweet potato and slapping the mandolin thing. She loves to cube those up in that because she gets to hit stuff and it's okay. And she can't cut her fingers, which is nice. The 12-year-olds are having to learn how to clean dishes right now because they're good at making the mess and not good at cleaning up. So wish me luck.
I love that. Yeah, get the twins cleaning. Anyone else? Or grandkids?
It's super noisy here, so I apologize, but I was going to turn the camera around. Do I know how to do that? See if I can figure it out. So I bought one of these for my house, when my grandson came to visit, it's a little helper. He was just one, a little bit over one. And so then when she got home, she bought one. And these are amazing because they can pop up there and watch. You do have to be really careful though, because they move fast and they can grab your knives. This one also like changes out. You can flip these steels and it turns into a little desk. So if you have littles, that's fun. And mostly when I'm having him help me, all I'm doing is having him, like I cut the package open and I let him throw it in. Like for the rice, he threw the little packets in with a lot of help because he's kind of a monster. So
Love it. That's awesome. Yeah, Anders, it's hard too because he wants to like he wanted to dump all the oil in last night. I'm like, we only need 2 tablespoons. He's dumping. I'm like, oh, stop dumping, no more. Gets a little wild sometimes. Anyone else? How do you get your guys' family? Maybe your family, maybe your husband even involved. We can talk about that too, right? They're kids. Anybody does it where one of you guys cook and the other one does the dishes? I know my in-laws do that, but I don't. We don't. We're terrible. Yeah, you wish, right? I like that. Okay, well, that, there's a lot of great ways, I think, to get your family involved, get your kiddos involved, right? And there again is research out there, especially for kids that are picky eaters. When you get them involved, they tend to be more willing and more open to try the food. I claim we're still a work in progress there. Anders is still quite picky. But while we're making food, all of a sudden he wanted to try a pepper one night and I went, oh, he's willing to try a pepper. Oh, I had no idea. And so now we're like, he likes peppers. And we probably I wouldn't have maybe put them on his plate. Maybe I would have, I don't know. But we figured out he likes peppers before we added it and chopped them up and put them into then a dish he wasn't going to eat, right? So it's like kind of can figure that out too, especially for those picky eaters when they get involved. So of course, too, I feel like it's always nice to get a break. And so when the husband gets involved, win, win, win there, right? Anytime we can get anyone else involved, we are busy, busy people. So, okay. I'm going to show you guys this video real quick, it's just only like 4 minutes long. It's not super long, but it talks a lot about meal planning. It's going to show some power tools that I think have been really helpful in my kitchen. And I'm sure in some of your kitchens too, if you have them, and then some recipes too. So it's going to share a little bit of everything with you guys. So let me just pull this up, share my screen. Okay, I'm going to blow it up. Nice and big for all of you. Okay.
Hi, I'm Sandy. An easy way to plan for the week is to make 1 protein, 1 grain, and some veggies, and mix and match them with different sauces and slaws. We're going to make chicken breast, white rice, and roasted veggies, and transform them into 4 different meals. Chicken is one of the best proteins to repurpose. It's the ultimate blank canvas, and you can turn it into so many other things. I'm roasting about 2 pounds here in my roasting pan. Rice is family friendly, inexpensive, and so easy to turn into different meals. I'm making it in the quick cooker, which could not be easier and more hands-off. Pick 3 different vegetables for the week that you know your family is going to eat, and then prepare them in their favorite way. We're going to make roasted veggies. Okay, for dinner number 1, we are going to serve our chicken with a delicious Asian slaw and an amazing peanut sauce. I love making slaws in my food processor because there's so much less just chopping by hand. It goes by so quick. I'm also going to make enough peanut sauce to save it for another night later in the week. Okay, we're going to make our sauce for our slaw. It's so good. Ooh, it smells so good. I'm gonna make my peanut sauce to serve with my chicken, and I'm gonna serve a little bit tonight and then save a little bit for later in the week. I love that there's some overlapping ingredients between this sauce and what I used in the slaw too. I'm gonna use my immersion blender just to get this all smooth. So I got my chicken and my Asian slaw and my peanut sauce, and I'm all ready to go. I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of sauce onto my chicken. Okay, night number 2, we're gonna serve our chicken and rice with this amazing Peruvian green sauce. It's full of fresh herbs, thick, rich, and creamy. You could basically put on everything, but it's really good with chicken and rice. Okay, we have our chicken and rice. Looks kind of boring how it is right now, but not until we add our green sauce. I really wish you could smell this. It is so full of flavor. So night number 3 is so easy, you're not even going to believe it. We have our leftover rice, our leftover veggies, and our leftover peanut sauce, and we're going to pull it all together. I love this for a super busy weeknight, and it's going to taste great. My kids love peanut sauces, so I can basically serve peanut sauce for everything, and I know they're going to love it. Okay, night number 4, we're going to make a really simple tomato sauce and serve it with rice. It's called spaghetti rice. Have a little veggies on the side. It's going to be super simple. So I have some oil heating in my pan. I'm just going to add my garlic. I have a lot of garlic here, about 4 to 6 cloves. And then we're going to add our basil, oregano, some salt, and some red pepper flakes. We're just going to heat this. This is just toasting the spices, building some flavor before we add in our crushed tomatoes. Okay, I'm adding my crushed tomatoes. We're just going to go ahead and let this simmer for about 12 to 14 minutes. Okay, my tomato sauce is done simmering. I took it off the heat, and I'm just going to blend it until it's super smooth. It's time to put our spaghetti rice all together. I have my rice. I added a little bit of cooked spinach, some veggies on the side. It's smelling amazing. Just a little bit of extra prep on making your chicken, your vegetables, and your rice at the start of the week gives you a massive head start on dinner. Then you just make your sauces and your slaws and bring everything to life.
Okay. Let me just make sure it doesn't play like the next video because, well, that's exactly what happened. Wasn't fast enough. Hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of inspiration with just how to meal prep for the whole week or for 4 days at least. There's always leftovers, I feel like, right? And being able not to have to buy 10 different meals of ingredients, right? So I'm gonna hand it over to Kayla. She's gonna talk a little bit more about meal planning for you guys. So Kayla, take it away.
All right. Hello. I'm going to give you just a little bit of background. I've been with Pampered Chef for about, it's been over 4 years now. And I used to hate cooking. The reason I joined was, I don't know, because I needed some money and something to do for myself. And I thought maybe this was something I could do while I was staying home with my kids. And it turns out that when you have super fun tools in your kitchen and you can experiment and actually have fun in the kitchen, cooking isn't that bad. So that's kind of my passion, is to make it more enjoyable, make it less of a chore. And for me, half of the chore is deciding what to have for dinner. So that is my whole, when I talk about meal planning for the week, it isn't necessarily Sandy did that great job of showing how you can prep early and have your week planned out, which is awesome. I'm not there. But I do at the beginning of the week plan what I'm going to have, just so that question is answered. So every day I don't have to sit and think, what are we going to have? I kind of, have my meals already in my head for what I'm going to do. And kind of getting out of that rut. Sometimes we feel like we're having the same meals over and over. So I'm just going to share a few tips with you for how to get out of that. First of all, I would suggest trying one new meal every week. So trying something that you haven't had. And I know for me, it's really helpful that with Pampered Chef, we get our season's best. So like a whole new season of recipes every 6 months, right? Because I always get this whole book and like, I want to try all these recipes, but I can't try them all at once. So even just like picking one every week. We also have our taste bud subscription. And I love those meals getting those recipes sent every month. So then that adds to like what I can choose from for my one new meal every week. Sometimes I would do 2, but sometimes when you're, doing new meals, it can be overwhelming, right? Sometimes the last thing we want to do is like have to think too much when we're making dinner. So I find for me, one new meal a week, it keeps it interesting. It makes it an adventure, but it's not too much. So you have to find what works for you. The other thing that I recommend is letting your tools guide you. Sometimes when I'm trying to come up with ideas for what to have, I think, well, I haven't used my blender in a long time. So what meal can I make with my blender? And on the Pampered Chef website, we actually have, like, when you go to the recipe page, you can choose by tool. So if you want to make something new in your blender, you click on blender and all of these recipes come up. So you can choose something for that. So sometimes for me, it's like, okay, well, I don't want to, use this. I don't want to use the air fryer every night. Like, what could I do to make it different? And even if it's a recipe that I've already had before, it's changing it up. And like I said, that variety is helpful to me. And then the last piece that I would say, as far as how to get ideas for those meals during the week, something we've kind of already talked about as far as like getting your family involved. So if you have picky eaters, maybe you can have them think of one meal that can help, that they might actually be interested in eating. My kids are terribly picky. So having them give suggestions, so that they know that you're listening and they feel, kind of involved that way. Making it more of a family event, family planning type of thing. So anybody else have little suggestions or tips that you use?
You mean
My
just to
kids, oh,
no, go
on,
ahead.
Carrie.
I'm gonna go get some.
I was going to say, if my kids don't like something, I have them try and figure out why they don't like it. Is it too spicy? Is it not sweet enough? Do you not like the broccoli in it? Because I like broccoli in everything, and I get a little over enthusiastic with the broccoli. So if I can figure out what they don't like, then I'll try the recipe again, different, and not tell them, and see what the reaction is the second time. Because sometimes
like
the
that.
first time it's just new and they're just not sure.
I like that.
I'm like you. I don't like to try to figure out what we're going to make. So I'd seen this on Pinterest, this little board that just has clips. So I made one for us, but to kind of help us go through, and it's mostly my husband and I. We have an 18-year-old son that's away at boarding academy, a Christian boarding academy. So he's only here occasionally, but I just made little cards. I don't know if that's too much glare. Yeah, you still can't see it. And we just kind of flip through there, and each one's responsible for picking out how many ever we're going to need to fill out the week.
That's awesome. Very cool.
It just helps to have that list where you just know, okay, here's things that we do like. So
Definitely. Love it.
I feel like my mom was really good, much better at this than me. So I'm going to use her example. She used to have a recipe box and she would sort it by appetizers, main dishes, desserts type things or whatever. And so you just would go out of there and we would just draw whatever recipe we wanted to make. And then in her like walk-in pantry, she's got this list of like quick, easy meals, like sloppy joes or pigs in a blanket, or she just have the quick, easy meals like of things she just typically has on hand at all times if she needs a quick, easy meal. So that was always really handy as well.
Yes, very organized.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Carrie, I think that's good.
Yeah. Janelle is gonna now. You ready, Janelle? She's gonna take over and she's gonna show us a quick, easy recipe as well. Hopefully give us some inspiration.
Yeah, so I'm kind of doing what Kayla was talking about with what tool do we need to use, because Chelsea got the quick cooker for Christmas because she wanted to make rice in it. And she took it out and she steamed vegetables once, and she just put it away because she said it was stupid and they got too soggy. Well, duh, it's not really for steaming vegetables. I mean, you can, but you steam them for 1 minute or you throw them in at the end, right? So what I found is, or what I said is, we need to make some things. So last night we made creamy garlic Parmesan pasta, and literally you throw raw chicken, raw pasta, you do a little bit of, you saute a little bit of garlic at the beginning, and then you just dump everything else in pretty much. And so it was delicious. And that takes 12 minutes, I believe. Cooking, chicken's cooked, noodles are done, everything's awesome. And you got a bunch of leftovers. For this guy, which I found out today, he doesn't really like pasta. So he's grossed out by the texture or something. Anyway, it's really good and it's super duper easy. I think I found that one on the internet when I first started. This comes with a cooking guide, and the advice I got from some of the ambassadors that tested this, they said, just use a cooking guide. So I did, and there's really good recipes in there. So tonight we're making salsa chicken. So what I've done is I cut up a poblano pepper and some onions. They're in the bottom. I wasn't really sure where to put them. I think sometimes I throw them on the top. And then we're using chicken thighs. So Chelsea, we need to do two things. Here, I'll let you video maybe. So we've got 1 3/4 cups of water, because I'm also going to make rice in the pot that goes on top of this. And I think the best way to do this, I wish I had my little, I think you have it.
Whisk.
It's always fun finding things in someone else's kitchen.
I'm not quite as organized as she is.
It's not ours, but it's close. But anyway, I'm just gonna whisk this up to get everything incorporated. Just a box of Mexican rice is all we did here. And so you put the rice in the top part, right, in this ceramic pot, and that's gonna go on top. I'll show you how we put that together in a minute, but that's super fast and easy. And then we'll have everything done at the same time. The only thing we'll have to do is if we want a side of some kind of other vegetables, we'll do that. But I think we're gonna probably put it on tortilla shells, so probably be good. So you just put this little lid on, and that's ready. All right, then the second thing we do is we're gonna open up the salsa. Augie, you wanna come help Grandma? You wanna come help Grandma?
Can I get your tower, bud?
I'm gonna get in your tower and help Grandma put the salsa on.
Come on up.
And we just need 1 cup of salsa. I see what I need to get her for Christmas next year. I believe these are my old
They probably are.
ones that I got when we got married. And I'm not even sure if this is a whole cup, is it? Oh yeah, that's a cup. So we're just gonna take a cup of salsa and we're gonna pour that on top. And Augie's not in the mood. He's busy doing other things. So we'll just do this. Put the cup of salsa on. Then we're gonna take this stand, which comes with it, and push that right down into the chicken. And then we'll just set this on top. And we're gonna take the lid, put it on. And we're gonna set it to, I love this. I love that we can just turn it to the chicken and poultry setting. Right there, chicken and poultry. And we're gonna push start. And our dinner will be ready. It'll probably take a little bit for it to come up to get the pressure built up, because there's nothing warm in there right now. But then it will take 15 minutes. And
Thank you.
the only other pressure cooker advice that I have for you is, if you're doing something with a lot of liquid, like the fettuccine that we made last night, that has a lot of liquid in it. So you first saute the garlic, then you throw in your cream and your chicken broth. And I like to let that get nice and hot. So I leave my sear setting on and let the liquid get nice and hot. Then I dump the rest of the ingredients in, stir it around good, and put the lid on and start cooking it. And stop a lot faster. So that's my tip for speeding it up. And that's all I got for you.
I love it. We used our quick cooker last night to make chili. We did the oil and onions first, added the meat, and then dumped everything else in and put it on the chili setting.
Yeah. So easy. And the thing is, it tastes like it's been cooking for hours. I mean, I don't really get the whole pressure cooking thing. I've got a couple of like Fiesta chili mac I make in there. And Fiesta chili mac is usually better even the second day when you normally cook it, because I think that it takes that long for the flavors to infuse. When you make it in here, it's so delicious. So delicious.
Yeah, it's so easy. And actually, it was the Southwest chili that was in February's taste buds, which you can get through tomorrow because it's the 15th. So it was really,
Cool.
really good. Okay. All right, guys. We're getting towards the end here, and I will be doing a prize drawing at the end as well. So yeah, I love it. Rosie loves her quick cooker too, right? Does everybody have one? I feel like a lot of us probably have one, or some kind of pressure cooker maybe. Okay, guys, I just want to share another way that for a lot of us that we've had everyday wins, specifically with Pampered Chef. So we've talked about some different areas with how we can have wins in the kitchen. I think another win for a lot of us, and there are some consultants, quite a few of us consultants on here as well, but is this business as crazy as some of us thought it was going to be, or we thought it'd be a 30-day thing, or maybe a year. Some of us have been around 5, 10, 13, 15 years, and we would have never expected that. And so I just want to share a little bit more about that with you guys as well, because this is another way I feel like we can help people and can really have a win in your life too, not just your kitchen. Yes, you are, because I've become a better cook. That's how I started, to learn how to cook, right? Or make it more enjoyable. Like Kayla talked about that too. There's a lot of different reasons besides maybe the obvious income or products and things like that. So if you're not familiar with Pampered Chef, it started in 1980 by a woman named Doris Christopher, right? She started this company really to provide an income for her family while getting to stay home and raise her family. I so feel that right now. That's kind of my story right now. So, but she also wanted to bring families around the table and knew the importance of family mealtime, right? And we talked about this a little bit. The mission is to provide cooking tools that can give people more confidence in the kitchen, recipes that help families enjoy mealtime together. And then again, this business opportunity that makes the everyday better for all of our consultants. Okay. So, I have two things I want to share with you guys overall as I talk about this. But the first, I want you guys to have an opportunity for you to be able to help you and your family as well create memories around the table, right? With our amazing cooking tools, which we've kind of showed you guys all of that. But the second is this opportunity that people use if they're dissatisfied with their current financial situation. People who would maybe like to build a business of their own, regardless of their current situation or background. It's for everybody to try, right? And I just hope, and I really believe you'll agree with me by the end here, that Pampered Chef is providing everyone with a chance to achieve their financial goals, whatever they may be. Okay, before I get too much into that, I do want to share my story real quick with you guys, okay? So I used to work at a private university in financial aid. I loved what I did, but I also knew I was never going to be able to move up unless I either moved departments. And of course, moving up, you always get more work, right? Or more hours. And I'm like, I don't know if I want that though either. I was a hard worker. And although I might get some pay raises, right, with inflation, it just felt like it was never going to be to the level my skills deserved. So for many years, of course, I've been working this super part-time gig and to really just help pay off some debt, right? Learn how to cook, have some fun too. And I hit a point in my life after we miscarried twins that I realized the expenses of raising kids and even possibly sending them to daycare. I wanted more flexibility. I wanted out of debt. And at the time, I wanted a family. So the next 2 years, that part-time side gig became full-time income-wise, but maybe working about 15 hours a week. And during that time, we also got pregnant again with triplets. And unfortunately, again, we miscarried. But good news, our story doesn't end there. We did get pregnant again. And 2 days before our little guy was born, we paid off our debt, everything but the house. And shortly after, I was able to stay home, quit my 8 to 5 job, raise our little boy, Recently, of course, adding a second little boy. And at the time, though, I didn't have loan payments. I didn't have to do daycare expenses. I had the flexibility to take him to the park when I wanted to, or be with him when he was sick, or just really experience all of his first, experience many memories with him, but while still earning a full-time paycheck and contributing to the household. So I'm just really excited for the future and getting to stay home with my boys, making memories with them while still making a full-time income, but also getting to help so many families get their families around the table, the importance of that, and even helping others be able to become debt-free by having a little extra income or having guilt-free money. So those are things that excite me for what's to come, right? And I really believe there are two things you kind of need to do if you want to be successful, not only now, but in the future, especially in a business like this, in something like this. So the first, identify, is there an opportunity in the marketplace, right? Like, is this something that people need, want, all of that kind of stuff, right? There's really like 5 elements, I'd even say, that I always think anybody should look at when you're looking at an opportunity, a business opportunity. You don't have to have all 5, I don't think, for it to be successful, but if you do, you found something real special. So here's what I'd say. Number 1 is the company's products, right? Do people like the products? Are they worthwhile? Do they help us, or are they just pieces of junk that don't help us? No, I would say most of us would probably agree we like the products, right? Most of us would probably say they've got really great value, that all of that. So we'll dive into that too a little bit more as well. So I think some of the other things as well is looking at the company itself, the compensation plan, the type of support we have, and if it's good timing. Okay. If they're all in place, I think it's a very worthwhile alternative career. So again, I'm going to kind of walk through that as well. So when we're taking a look at the products, right, is there a need? And I think so many people need high quality kitchen tools to just help maintain the order in their kitchen, get them in and out as fast as possible. Nobody has time. We're all so busy. And so we need those power tools in our house. We don't want poor tools. Some of us joke when we go on vacations, we're using other tools like an Airbnbs. We just get frustrated. We can't stinking cut the chicken. We can't cut the cheese. Like, we just can't, nothing will work. And so it can leave us frustrated. And sometimes we take our tools with us too. So, and people do struggle getting their families around the table. I think people have done better at that the last couple of years, which is fantastic, right? The other question when it comes to the products is, does it meet the need? And I think, yes, this checks out. While other tools similar on the market may sometimes, I've had issues, at least them breaking, right? Or they don't have a warranty on it. Our tools have stood the test of time. We do have a warranty on our tools as well. And I've heard from so many people, some customers that have just told me how it's helped them be able to easily and quickly get meals on the table for their families, right? In turn, of course, getting families a meal around the table, we talked about this a little bit, helps with better nutrients, helps with the brain, the mind, things like that. So I definitely think there's a need there. And is the product priced to sell? And I think based on its quality, or like when I've done homework too, this is something to think about. When you make a meal from home, it's like $4 per person. Okay. When you go out to eat, I feel like it's $15 per person. And that's what one of the stats that I've researched on told me too. Like, it's $4 at home per person and 15. That's a $9 difference per person. And then if you take it times 4, 5, 6 people, right? It's a 300% markup, right? If you take that times 10, even like if you're, Monday through Friday, 2 meals a day, right? 10 meals there. That's an extra $90 per person in difference a week if you went out to eat every single time, right? So definitely, I think by getting the tools, that's going to save you money and time by being able to cook at home, right? The quality, like I said, is backed by its warranty, very high, and people are very much willing to pay that when it's good quality like that. And we offer great discounts too, right? So if you're like, I'm not sure, we offer a great hosting opportunity for everyone to be able to get it at a discount, which is awesome. I love that. So, and of course, the other thing when I'm looking at a company too, when I was looking at Pamper Chef, like, okay, price to sell, but can I make money then? Like, am I going to be able to make a profit then? Because it isn't any good if all those other three things are in place, but as us as entrepreneurs, right? Is there money in it for me? And when I've looked, traditional advertising, that's what they typically do, right? They spend all their money in marketing. But with Pampered Chef, they kind of give that money back to us in a way because it's all about word of mouth, right? That's where we're going to really get our business from, is that word of mouth. And so it's so powerful. And so therefore the company instead can use that resource, that money, instead of pouring it into all the marketing they could possibly do to get business, instead can pour that back into us even. So yes, you can, and we'll talk a little bit about the compensation plan too, but definitely price to sell and price to be able to give us and the company a profit for sure. So love that. So for me, as far as the product's concerned, right, I like to ask those 4 questions. I always encourage you do your homework as well. Don't take my word for it. I always say, like, even if you go listen to your pastor on Sunday morning, don't take their word for it. Go into the Bible, go check it out, right? Same thing. Do your homework. So, sorry, I think I skipped there a second, but hopefully that came out okay. So, definitely good to be looking at that. So the company itself, I have noticed we have really amazing leadership that is just really there to help solve problems, build good teams, pivot when necessary, take care of problems. We've seen quite a bit of that over the last couple of years. COVID kind of really threw a wrench at things to go, wow, they really handled a really tough situation really well, and pivoted the best they could. And they've been around for 41 years. They've stood the test of time, right? They've gone through a lot of good times, but hard times, and have just kept pushing forward and thrive. They've been very innovative with the tools that they come out. Sometimes I'm like, that is so cool. I would have never thought of that. That's why I don't do that side. I don't do that side of this. And I don't have to. The other best part, I don't have to come up with a team to do that. There's already a team that does it. So for me, again, all this checks off. And again, you got to do your research. But for me, check, right? Okay, the compensation plan. I think there's a lot of things that must be there in a compensation plan for a company to truly go just long-term into a certain marketplace in which it functions. And so the first is the ability to generate income quickly, right? When I started and when I've done my homework, I found out, yeah, people in fact with Pamper Chef can make money quickly. It is possible to recoup their initial investment within a week, within a day right now, with how cheap you can get started. So really, really quickly, you can get your money back and then start to make a profit. Now, can everyone accomplish that? It is possible. Not everyone might do it. It depends on what you're willing to do, right? But it's possible, right? And I think too, it's always good to look, okay, well, if I don't want to just be a hobbyist, can I make a reasonable part-time income with a reasonable part-time effort? And the qualifications, Pampered Chef, the qualifications for income is very low, certainly within reach of the average person. I mean, you can't believe how many people inside Pampered Chef right now are making $300, $500, $2,000 a month part-time. Now, of course, that's based on person's individual effort, and there's no guarantees like any entrepreneurial venture, but there are a lot of people earning an income on the side, right? But the other thing I always want to look at too, okay, what if I want to make a career out of this? Can I make money and enough for a career? And I definitely have seen that. I've seen people in this business in Pampered Chef make a substantial income, right? And I won't try to describe the entire compensation plan and how it works, but from my experience, those who make big career decisions and who work extremely hard have an almost unlimited opportunity to change their financial status. Like there's no ceiling, right? You can go wherever you want to go with it. Okay. Okay, so now we're moving on to the fourth out of the 5 elements, and that's the support that's available. So Pampered Chef has one of the best support systems, I believe, just really help you build your business at whatever level you want. Again, we have a complete line of tools and training that includes an online training that Pampered Chef provides that you can do at your own pace. We have team training, we have specialized training. We have home office staff that provide additional training for those that want even more. There's so much training out there. You'll never be bored I'm still haven't gone through all the training myself after 10 years. So lots and lots and lots of trainings out there. And yeah, we just want to help you be able to learn about the tools and be able to educate others as well. So we will give you step-by-steps on how to do things, and depends on how you want to start, right? If you're a self-guided person, you can totally do that. If you want to do Zoom calls, we can do that. If you want to do webinars, we do that, right? There's so many different avenues based on how you learn, on how you can get supported too. The last thing is just timing, right? I think we could all agree in real estate, it's all about location, location, location. But in business, it's all about timing, timing, timing. So let me tell you why, in my opinion, this is such a great and perfect time to get involved with this company. First of all, Pampered Chef is growing. We are about to launch some new products here. So I say get in now before the new products come out, right? Get your party in, get your launch in. And not only that, you can start for only $25 this month. We still have 3 other amazing kits alongside of that, but $25 is not even a tank of gas, right? We are just at the beginning of the year, so we are just starting to earn some of the trips. There's just right now you can earn our Flex Plus for free. There's a lot of other tools you can earn for free, all the way up to our knife block set. So really, it's right shy, think of $1,000 worth of products you can earn in addition to the commission that you can earn as well. So it's pretty crazy. There's cash bonuses up to $3,000 and more. And it's just crazy. The timing right now is quite nice. So when I, again, personally look at all of this, right, all these elements, and when I look at Pampered Chef, when I say it out loud too, I'm like reminded and I'm just blown away. It's so rare to find something that has all 5 of those elements. And I just, again, invite you to do your homework. We know Pampered Chef has high quality products, right? We really do try to help families get meals around the table easier and faster. It's innovative. Pampered Chef is innovative, been around for a long time, has amazing leadership. And I don't feel like you can find a compensation plan that pays you to simply recommend your favorite products or when you help others succeed like it does. Okay. There's such great support system too, that I just feel like it's virtually unmatched. And the timing couldn't be better, especially if you want, whether you want short-term or long-term success, you can choose. That's the beauty of it, right? No one's going to force you to do one thing or the other. So I've been really fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time in my life. And I feel like Pampered Chef was just one of those things for me. And I believe 5 years from now, you might be saying, yeah, I was there, but I was busy. I had other stuff going on. I decided to keep going through the motions, or I was there and I said yes. And I took a leap of faith and it changed everything for me. I feel like it's like kids. There's never a perfect time to give it a try. There's never, like, kids were all like, oh, maybe once I get my finances in order. And I don't think anybody has ever done that. Personally, it's just like, oh, here we go. We're just going to have kids. And I think that's true with this too, right? Why not give it a try? Because there's never going to be a perfect time. So if you've ever wanted more out of life, if you need some more everyday wins, right? If you've ever felt that you were worth more than you currently are getting, if you can believe yourself enough to try, I think that's the hardest part. I just encourage you to get your questions answered. Maybe trying the product is where you need to start, figuring out the compensation structure if you feel like you need to look into that a little deeper, and take the next step. I hope you'll join us. We all look forward to working with you. And I think it's going to be a great ride. So I just want to invite you guys, if you have any questions, please reach out to the person that invited you tonight as well. Because we'd love to have you a part of this amazing group. So you've seen some of the faces, but there's many, many more faces that, I don't know, have just become home for me. So I don't know. I invite you guys. Anybody else, I guess, have questions right now or any other comments around that? You're all so silent. I left you all speechless. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do the drawing real quick for those of you, because you guys all stayed. I'm so proud of all of you. Thank you, thank you. All right. Let's see here. Let me. Oh, shoot, I accidentally clicked the wheel before I shared my screen. It's fine. All right, it's Julie. Julie, you're our winner. So Julie, I'll get in touch with you. Sorry. I know you can't see it, but you heard it. You heard it spinning, right?
I heard it.
Good. I will get in touch with you. But if you guys have any questions at all, we'd also love your feedback. So also get back with the person that invited you just to give feedback, to say, what did you like about tonight? You know, it's something new we tried. And so we love being able to help serve you guys in many different ways. So definitely get in touch. Julie, I'll get in touch with you. And if you do have questions, or if you're like, you know what, now's my time, we invite you to get started right away, so that we can start helping you right away and achieve your everyday wins. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. So thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. So excited for all of you. I don't know why. I'm just excited, because why not?
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes. Thanks, Chris. All right.
Bye.
See you guys later.
night.
Have a good night. Bye, Chelsea. I see you. Yeah, come off mute. I'm going to stop recording here.